Hey everyone, welcome to your Boss Babe Week 3 training. So this one is recorded. My son is in his championship basketball game, so I'm recording this today. Instead of a live event, we will be back live together next week on Zoom. So go ahead and write it down on your calendar because we really want to touch base about some things. So it's so important on these live ones that you're on live so that we can learn together. So before we get into our Boss Babe training, and trust me, you're going to love this inspiration today, I want to just give you a few announcements and share a few things with you. So first off, as I think most of you know, I was in Nashville this past week for Mary Kay leadership training. I want to give kudos and shouts out to Beth McCarthy, who completed the Nashville challenge, and I have some little business supply like gift headed your way that I think you're going to love. And so congrats, Beth. But I thought I would share each week a few of the pictures from leadership. One of my favorite things is that at leadership, you get to go and try all the new products. That will be the same for you at seminar. Also get to have all sorts of fun things. In the middle is me writing my goal and setting it up. And then on the far left, that's a picture of myself with the head of social media for Mary Kay, Shelby Portwood. So if you've watched anything on the My Mary Kay Facebook page, or if you've done any of the digital zone trainings, you've seen Shelby. She's amazing. And we have become friends through me attending these events. And so I love that when you attend seminar in Dallas in August, you too will get to try the newest products, meet the corporate staff, etc. So it's very cool. Let's see. In fact, when we were over here at the skincare table, we actually met I've met her several times, but we actually got to talk to and ask questions directly to Dr. Lucy Gilday, who is the head of scientific research for Mary Kay. She came to us 5 years ago from Procter & Gamble. She is the forefront of Mary Kay technology and science. She is the head of creating all of our new products. And I literally walked up, there was no one in line, asked her a couple questions about products for myself. I love that you get to do that. So it's such a gift to be able to go to those events, and you can do that too at seminar. I'm also going to be sharing little leadership thoughts that we got from leadership. And I'll be posting these in our Facebook page. I thought I would share this one today because it ties into what our speaker is going to talk about. So when your goal is clear, you'll move through the fear. So, in the beginning or when you're trying something new, your confidence is going to be low. And so we're going to talk about like higher confidence builds better results. But what builds the confidence is the action. So you're going to have to act when you're still fearful. You're going to have to do those faces when you're still fearful. And what I find is that when that goal is clear, you'll move through the fear. So sometimes it's just clarifying what we're going to get out of it. Now, this is super important. This is new information. I noticed that I have mentioned new products will be launching in February. And so I want to give you a chance to earn those products before you can buy them. And so there's several different ways, and you can do multiples of these. So first off, if you do a $300 wholesale order, you're going to get a pack of the lookbooks and some samples. If you do a $600 wholesale order, you're going to get one of the new skincare products. It's going to be a permanent line product. And oh my gosh, you're going to want it before everyone else because you're going to want to have tried it for when it launches. So you'll get that and lookbooks. If you do 600 wholesale, of course, you'll also earn the Love bracelet this month. And then so we have a goal to have 6 women achieve that level. And then another way you can earn product is by tracking 15 faces. So if you do 15 faces in January, all right, listen, we have a week left. There is plenty of time. So if you're like, I want to do those faces, but I'm way behind, reach out to me and I will help you. But you will earn a new product and lookbooks for doing the faces. So see, you could do the 600 and the 15 faces and earn multiple products. And then if you do 30 faces in January, I'm going to give you all the new products. Yes. So if you do 30 faces in January, do all the new products. So when you message me to let me know you watched this training, or when you comment on the Facebook, comment that you want to earn some of the new product. And that way I know to follow up with you. So this is just through the end of January. All right, one of those ways you can do some of those faces is our skin cycling event. So we have one more skin cycling session, and that is this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. So here's the thing. if you get on this event and you watch it yourself, okay, I am going to give you a chance to get, I'm actually going to do this with, I'm going to give you a chance to get bonus points for your Boss Babe, okay? If you get on this event and watch it yourself, you're going to get 20 bonus points, okay? So get on the event, watch it live, you get 20 bonus points, okay? You're also going to earn points for every guest you have on it. And I'm going to double those points this week. So I think it's 10 or 20 points. We're going to double it for every guest that you have on and that follows up with you and I. Okay, so just even if you just get on the skin cycling tonight and watch, or on Thursday and watch it for yourself, you're going to get 20 bonus points for your Boss Babe points. Then we also have our Beauty Sleep Sunday. I will be hosting this Sunday's event. And so I want to give you a chance. I am going to have a special, here's what I want to do. I want you to try to get three guests this week, right? To jump onto the Beauty Sleep Sunday. There's still time for me to send packets out to them. So if you do have guests and you register for them to send me packets, I need you to text me because we've had some problems with the form. So if you do register for guests to get packets, please text me so that I know to look for that. And then, of course, we have our Boss Babe training. All right, so we're in Boss Babe week 3. Here's the thing. Each week we have points, okay? Now, I'm not going to announce our high point winners for this week yet because some of you are still turning them in because you have till tonight to turn them in. There were some bonus points this week. If you signed up your customers 13 or more for the PCP, you got 30 bonus points. Make sure to write that in. Here's why the points matter. Number one, they matter because this activity will lead to results in your business. So who cares about any prizes? It's really about taking small bits of activity, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what happens, trying to get some points every week and make sure you turn those into me. You have to turn them into me every week, even if they're late, in order for you to get, for them to count as part of your program. And we will take those who earn an average of 100 a week, okay? Doesn't matter. You could earn them all in 1 week or whatever, but we will have those who earn an average of $100 or 100 points a week. We will have a special event for you at the end. We will have a personalized technology training that you'll be able to get on live. You'll love it. It'll give you so much confidence in virtual things. But really, and listen, everybody's going to be able to earn those points. There will be lots of chance for bonuses. So please just make sure you're turning your points in each week and you're reaching out to me about it. Okay, so tonight's special training is from National Sales Director Stacy James. Now, if you come to seminar with us, you will most certainly see her. She is the #1 National Sales Director in our Ruby area. That's the group that we're in Mary Kay. It's a very big group. And she's #2 in the company overall. Stacy James is a phenomenal leader in Mary Kay and well recognized. In fact, Success Magazine last year named her in the top 125 most influential people. Didn't have anything to do with Mary Kay, right? So she is a force to be reckoned with. All her success is in the Mary Kay world. I want to tell you a couple things about her. She was an elementary school teacher when she started Mary Kay. She's going to talk more about that. And she's been in Mary Kay since 1981. So something to know is that she is in what we call our inner circle. That is our top of the top in Mary Kay. And she has achieved that status 17 times. Okay, she lives in Edmond, Oklahoma, and which is so cool. And she is just somebody who has literally started from very little and pulled herself up in Mary Kay. She's proof that anything is possible. And so tonight, what you're going to do is you're going to hear her talk. And here's what's great. I know you guys are listening to this recorded, so you can play this training while you're getting ready, while you're driving. You can play it, again on repeat for yourself. But here's the thing. If you are watching this on Facebook, you must comment so that I know that's how you get credit, okay? It says that you get credit when you watch it live and have your camera on. Since we're not doing it live, as long as you watch it and message me that you watched it, either by commenting in the Facebook, or if you're watching it on a link, texting me and letting me know you watched it. Then you get credit for this week, and you get those extra points. All right, so Stacy's training is a little bit longer, and it's broken into 2 parts. So it's 20 minutes. It's broken into 2 parts. So bear with me because there will be a little pause in between. And so I'm going to go ahead and get her training ready and take notes and listen. It's one of those ones where you can listen even without taking notes. Okay. All right, here we go. I can't wait to hear what you think about this training.
Well, hello there, most wonderful Mary Kay women. Hi, this is National Sales Director Stacy James, and I love that I get some time with all of you right now. I know that I am to be sharing a game changer idea or event or something that occurred for me that caused me to think a new thing, or actually act in a different way, or allowed me to see some new possibilities for my future. So I'm going to start by telling you a story that actually I haven't told for quite a while, but my area does lovingly refer to it as the grapefruit story. Because when I was a brand new consultant, I'll tell you my situation. Brian and I were newly married. We got married in February, and I started my Mary Kay business the end of November in 1981. 1981. I do want you to know that when I went to DIT training in what we call the DIQ training there, we used to go before, we would go down the month before actually our DIQ period started way back then. And it was in 83 that, well, no, it was 82 that I went down for my director training. And the class that I was in also had in the class National Sales Director Kathy Halou, and also National Sales Director Carly Eisenhart. The 3 of us were in a new director training class together. Is that amazing? And we did not know each other at that point in time. So there were 3 Inner Circle National Sales Directors in that one class. And we just learned after the fact, when we were all talking about when we went through DIQ, and we were at a dinner, an Inner Circle dinner, and we all looked at each other and went, oh my goodness, we were all there together. The glorious things that happened. So when I started my business, my husband and I, Brian and I, were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I always refer to it had gross yellow carpeting in it and avocado green kitchen fixtures in the kitchen. And I explained that because and we had one car, and that car was a 71 Ambassador, and it had a hole, literally a hole in the floorboard of the car. And for those of you who know me, know that story. And we had lots and lots of debt when we got married, and pulled that debt all together. And he was in college at that point in time. He was just getting out of the Air Force, and he was in a medical program. So he was in pre-med. And so we were living on my teaching salary. I was teaching an elementary. It was a 4th and 5th grade combination class. And I loved teaching school. It was what I would wanted to do, my heart's desire, since I was in the 3rd grade. And however, I had a dad who was an entrepreneur. And he was, and a grandfather actually, who was also, so the grandfather was on my mom's side, and my dad, they were both incredibly creative, very, had amazing possibility thinkers, and a desire to build something, grow something, cause something to happen that would affect other people as well, was kind of their missions. And so they understood my desire to teach school. But I remember when I graduated from college, and I was the first in my family to do so, my dad took me to lunch that week, and he said, I'm so proud of you, but I just want you to know that, and I'm excited that you have your teaching position already in place, ready to go, but I really believe that you're intended for something even greater than this. And at that moment, I was like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. He also had a saying when I was in high school, and that is, if you keep doing what you're currently doing, you will just keep getting what you're currently getting. And so those kinds of things planted thoughts into my heart. And and my grandfather used to tell me that I could do anything that I set my mind to, and whatever I imagined could come into a reality. Really, my grandfather, I don't even know how he developed that mindset, but it was definitely birthed into his DNA. So as I was teaching school and we were living on my income and we were very far in debt, you can imagine that that money wasn't going very far. I was making 11,000 a year teaching back then in 1981. And so when Mary Kay came into my life, it really was because I made a line in the sand moment. It was when our car broke down and we didn't have the money to get it fixed, because we were truly living paycheck to paycheck and we really were not covering all the bases at that point. And and so I had to ask my parents for money to get the car fixed, which just made me mad that I was in a situation I had to do that, because that was my plan, was to be independent. I was ambitious. I was very proud of being ambitious and being very mature for my age, so to speak. My husband was an oldest child as well, and he was also very mature and very strong. And so having to do that just did not sit well. And so sometimes when a challenging things happen, we step back and say, what am I tolerating in my life that I should choose not to tolerate? What am I simply doing that is just allowing me to just get by? Or that I'm so focused on just navigating my life, I'm not operating in dreams or visions or possibilities or out of something new that I'm creating in my life. I'm just taking one step at a time, trying to get through. So that moment, I decided something had to change. That I was not, this is not how we're intended to be living without the income to thrive whatsoever. And of course, our dreams were all on Brian when he was going to get done, but that was going to be a long time down the road. And also, I was starting to I was working on my master's degree, just very little, but I was putting more money into that program that I was going to get out of it. And it was just money going into something that it was going to be a while before that I saw the fruition of that also. So you kind of step back and say, what is going to change here? And you don't always need an answer. You just need to seek, because God has the answer. And when we seek, he delivers. And yet, when we're so focused on what's not going right in our lives or focused on the current reality, then as a result of that, we're not opening ourselves to receive anything greater than that. So that switched that for me. I was ready to receive something great. And lo and behold, a woman walked into my life that I had known in college. And I would share more of that story, but I really want to focus on the grapefruit story, because I started my business. I was doing 3 parties a week. And I did a party at 2, a party at 5, and a party at 8. I literally did drive around town in that old car with all my product and extra trays and mirrors. And I just really, I figured out how to make that strategy work. And it worked really well for me, because when you're doing one thing right after the other, you carry a momentum. And the first party was great. The last party was extraordinary, because at the last party, they just didn't have a chance. I was so committed. I was so excited. I was so determined. I was so confident. And the more confident you are, the more people feel that, read it, and respond to it. The more timid you are, the more confused you are, the more doubtful you are, the more you walk in fear, then the more they feel that vibration, that energy frequency, and they respond to it. So the more parties I did, the more confident I became, even though I didn't do everything right. That's for sure. I did a bazillion things wrong, but we learn as we do. So I was bringing in more money in my one day than I was making teaching school all week long. And that was energizing and exciting. But what happened is that when I started taking that money and we were figuring out what bills were going to be paid, I I realized how much debt we actually were in because we had to have a different plan with more money coming in. But it all of a sudden, the debt just felt like a big black hole. And it felt as if it was going to be a long time, even though I had this catalyst of income coming in. It was going to be a long time before we could really get out of debt, is what happened to my heart. So I would get grapefruits for my lunch at school because I figured out all my money we put into paying off of debt. So I didn't really have an extra cash flow, even though I had the money coming in from my Mary Kay business. And so we would operate with a really tight budget for the week. And I would stop at Hinky Dinky, which I know sounds strange, but in the South, they had Piggly Wigglies. So it was a chain grocery store at the moment, 72nd and Dodge Street. I would take Brian to the university, and I would leave there and I would go to the Hinky Dinky, and I would get my grapefruits for the week, and it was Monday. So I walked in there, went to the grapefruit bin. I had a $20 bill in my hand because I did not use a checkbook because I didn't want to write checks and not have the money in there. So I had a $20 bill and went to buy the grapefruit, and the $20 bill was not in my hand any longer. And I was like, oh my gosh, I ran back to the grapefruit bin, felt like I was tossing grapefruits in the air, trying to find, like, panic stricken, this $20 bill, because it was it for the week. That was it for the week. I was going to buy the grapefruit, was going to put gas in my car. That was it. And it was nowhere to be found. And so I had to put the grapefruit back. And I remember walking out of the door of the Hinky Dinky out into the parking lot. So this is how easily it is for me to take myself back to that moment. I can literally look down on the ground and see the grating. It was like this black rubber grating that they had on the, how the doors open at a grocery store, and it had snow in between the grates, and it was slushy and snowy, and I can actually smell how the air smelled when I walked out of that store and I looked down at that grating, because the emotions were so overwhelming to me at that moment. I felt hopeless, and I felt scared, and I felt angry, and I felt disappointed. I felt all those. Hopeless is probably the worst of all of them. And I walked out in that parking lot, and it was wet, got in my car, literally put my head down on the steering wheel and started to cry. And I know people say this all the time, but I'm not a crier. It's very rare for me to cry. And I literally, that was kind of how I felt. And these calm, still words came to my heart as I was putting my head on that steering wheel, thinking, oh my gosh, like, I don't have my $20 bill. And this is what I heard. He said, I have given you everything you need to change this situation. That was what I heard. And I remember pulling my head up off that steering wheel and thinking, okay, he's given me what I need to change this situation. And now I need to change it. So at that moment, I feel like my depth of commitment game changer happened, a whole different depth of commitment. I was committed to it. I was excited about it. It was working. I was making the money. But all of a sudden now it became a deeper level of priority, because I knew he had given me this to deliver us from that situation. And so I would like to say everything changed dramatically right away, but that wasn't the case. But I do believe that what happens is God starts to line things up in the background for us, because the deeper our commitment, the more is available to us. The deeper our commitment, the depth of our dedication means that we're not going to allow ourselves to quit. We're not going to back down. We're not going to go sideways. We're going to see this through. And this is going to make all of the difference. And I believe Mary Kay, this company, is the answer and the solution to just about any void in our lives. We just don't always, it doesn't make sense that a company opportunity would be able to do that for people, period, let alone us as women, women in this company. But a true, pure, real opportunity that opens doors to a different life, a different future, different pathway. That is the purity of an opportunity, is an invitation to elevate your life, to upgrade your life. And if this wouldn't have come along, where would I have been in another month, another 6 months, another year from that point in time? I needed something that was going to shift across the board, and this was it. So that depth I believe, caused me to stop second guessing things like, I don't know if I'm going to find another hostess. I don't know if this, no. That conversation changed. The conversation changed to the next person that I meet is going to be this person. I'm going to find, I mean, it was more possibility realm thinking. Of course, I did most of my bookings from bookings on Sunday. I would book from those parties to the next week. So that's how I did that. But that I knew that there were women at those parties that I was going to continue to build my team with. And then, of course, my desire was to become a director, wear those suits, wear those pumps, have that confidence, be up in front of a room, be a leader.
Okay, so that's part one. The second part is just 4 minutes, so hang with me. It's going to take me just a minute to get that pulled up and to make sure it's the right one. I was trying to figure out an easier way to do this, but there just isn't. And so hold on. Let me see if this is the right one. Okay. All right, ladies. So I am going to go ahead and share the second part, it's just 4 minutes, and then I will be back on.
Wow, I'm using up my time, but I felt like I already was a leader. This was going to allow me to be a leader with an impact. So I became a sales director, and I did earn my Cadillac. And 5 months later, we did break a company record when I was my first month actually as a brand new sales director. The company sent a corporate person to do a big guest event and a workshop for us, and that gave me a platform of knowing that this was something greater than I really acknowledged or understood in the beginning. When I say that it fills voids, it helps women develop a stronger sense of confidence and belief in themselves, which I feel changes the fabric and the quality of our lives. When we believe in ourselves more, we lead our lives differently, we view the world differently, and we establish a greater confidence in our children, because confidence is something that affects how we raise our kids. It is a generational blessing. And then you gain friends and mentors and fun and adventure. And the mentors in Mary Kay are built right in, and they are to help us be as successful as possible. I don't believe that mentors in other businesses are quite the same as they are in our company. In fact, very rare for women in corporate America to have other women who help them become more successful. That's not usually the atmosphere in that environment. Our environment is different. Our environment is uncommon. Our environment is unusual. And we need to celebrate that, because it was because of Mary Kay Ash that we operate in a whole different capacity. So then I believe that financially, of course, it can fill voids in the financial department. I went from that 11,000 a year to my first, one, two, three, four, my fifth month as a sales director with a $10,000 check. So my fifth month as a sales director, making more in 1 month or the same in 1 month, just about, as I'd made an entire year in my teaching income, my teaching career. Is that a crazy thought? And then, of course, we earned that Cadillac, and I got to replace my car with a hole in the floorboard with a brand new, shiny, gorgeous, amazing Cadillac. And I remember when they called me and said, your Cadillac's in and you can come pick it up. And I literally backed my back up against the wall, slid down to the floor, and cried again. And with those tears, it was the fact that this company was going to give me a beautiful car for doing a great job. And when I taught school, I was highly conscientious, very committed, and gave it all and my best. And they gave me a ham for Christmas, And it's about finding the right opportunity. It's about finding something that is as glorious and beautiful and God blessed as this company and this business is. So a deeper level of faith and closer relationship with the Lord, and having the freedom and the flexibility, and my husband retired at age 32 to work with me, and so we have worked together for the last 35 years in Mary Kay. And so this is something that affects in and out, around and through, and elevates your entire life. So when you are committed, when you make it a priority, when you take it seriously, and you really do understand everything it can be for you, then everything that you could possibly dream about will come true.
Oh, I love that. Okay, awesome. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear your feedback from Stacy. So here's the purpose of this inspiration. It's designed to inspire us, to allow us to see what was possible for someone. I was taught early in Mary Kay by my director is if it's happening around you, it can happen to you. And so I want you to know Stacy's story could be your story. It could be someone else's story that you share the opportunity with. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this info you learn. You either need to text me or comment if you're watching this on Facebook, or text me and let me know you watched it. And then we're going to do a quick conversation. And I want to help you pull out some takeaways and some things that can push you in your business this week. And remember, follow the point sheet for Boss Babes, because doing that action will create results in your business. All right, guys, don't forget, next week we'll be live at 7:30. I will see you there. Looking forward to our conversations this week.